2 is 597 uniform. Come up 13101 picture. Far, too far! 131-0, ready. Papa, this is Delta Papa.
It's difficult to even stand up in this. The rain is coming in sideways. The surf is kicking up. Perfect day for a swim. The violent Columbia River bar creates the perfect training conditions. Swimmers are dropped into the frigid, boiling surf. They are becoming part of an exclusive fraternity that can snatch back lives the sea has claimed.
Let's go ahead and push her down the hill a little bit.
By this time tomorrow, these cows will be down the road, a lot closer to home and a lot farther away from the wolves. Okay, everything is set up on the side of the mountain, so now it's time to get all of the workers backed off. They're ready to blast.
3, 2, 1.
A winter's worth of stored energy is suddenly freed. It's an imminent avalanche, prompted by humans, to happen on human terms. The Yakima people say if you look closely at Mount Adams, you can make out the shape of a horse. Their legends say the Creator put horses here to help the Yakima people. And should they ever become lost, the horse will always lead the people home. Seabirds like pelicans get their poison on the open water. With the sudden crude landfall, shore and marsh birds are now stepping along the edges of disaster. I'll give you an idea of just how persistent this stuff is. I've got it all over my fingers. I took off the grasses over there. Take a look what happens. Should come right off. It's in the Gulf water. This stuff will not come off of my fingers. It will not come off of the feathers of birds or the skin of the reptiles that live in here. Getting it off the marsh plants before they spread it to the wildlife and birds seems almost impossible. Officer Tucker searches the treetops. The public is demanding action.
Part of protecting and serving. Ready to fire.
The nightly game of cop and crow has begun. The department has given up the old method of shoot to kill.
Firecracker round.
And now uses non-lethal noisemakers in hopes they can make downtown Sunnyside so unpleasant for the crows that they'll just look for somewhere more peaceful to roost.
Yeah, one thing about working with Gary is that he took you everywhere. Eastern Washington to the mountains, out to the coast. All the way from the bottom.
As I make my way down, if I was to hit my head or be overcome by fumes, the operator could quickly pull me out. Workers venture down here to look for clogs. What I'm seeing is a pretty steady flow.
To the top.
And after a nervous ride on a two-man elevator, that's where we found ourselves.
Wow. This is the top of the windmill, 260 feet up. That's the hatch that goes out on the very top. There's nothing but sky, wind, and blades up there.
Taking that last step through the hatch is like taking a spacewalk, except here, gravity is a serious concern. We lock in our safety lines.
It's so scary. I mean, it's beautiful and it's thrilling, but it's scary.
And then stand up to face the fury.
I can tell you, it is very windy up here and unpredictable, but these farms know how to handle that. These blades automatically adjust like airplane wings for all the different winds up here. And look at all of them working together to make power.
He would go everywhere, except for that one place.
Hey,
Gary's leaving.
Gary? I don't know Gary.
Is that the guy over at King? Oh, geez. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's usually out in the field.
Yeah, not here in court.
Hey, guys. Gary Chittim's leaving.
No way.
Gary's leaving?
No more court for him? I mean, we're waiting for Joe McEnroe.
I mean, he's going to miss all this fun. Gary owned King County Courthouse. What do we do?
How will we survive?
What are we ever going to do? Who's that? I've never even seen him in a courthouse. He's usually up in a tree or something earthy like that, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's that guy who does all that stuff?
Hikey boots, right?
You know what? The last time I saw him, he was doing a story on a house right in front of my house, and I didn't even think to do a story on that house. And he came over to interview me.
Interview you?
Yeah, and then he saw that it was me, and he didn't want to talk to me.
Well,
so I'm not sure I really want to talk to him.
See, this thing is on.
He loves everything environmental, and it's in his title. He is a specialist when it comes to working on environmental stories. But I think perhaps his favorites are the ones where he gets close, sometimes a little too close, to animals.
I conferred with our furry friends, man to animal. Think of the amazing repartee. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt and squeak and squawk with the animals, and they could talk to me.
Gary, I think I can speak for most of the photography staff that going out and working with you was always an adventure. I never knew if I was going to step on a rattlesnake, get covered up in an avalanche, get mauled by a bear, or get attacked by a wolverine. My friend, I'm going to miss you. You're a great friend, a fellow adventurer. I wish you well, and I hope that we can just get out in the mountains again, outside of work, and just chill out and have a good time. I'm gonna miss you. Bye, Gary.
The Earth died this week because you're leaving. I mean...
So our jackets form our identity, and for Gary Chittim, this is what he wore most of the time while growing up in Wyoming. Then he moved to the Northwest to become a reporter here at King TV and got one of these. Now he's losing this, and he's going to be wearing a stinking suit, even a tie that I refuse to put on. So Gary, this is your future, constricted, formal, very businesslike. Good luck with that. And by the way, I do have one Gary Chittim joke. So Gary Chittim walks into a bar. What does the bartender say? Why the long face?
Hey Gary, I am going to miss you so much. I'm going to miss your awesome environmental stories, your wit, your humor, your amazing writing, but most of all, I'm going to miss your smile. I'm going to miss seeing you every morning and saying good morning to you. I wish you the best of luck in your new adventure. We're definitely not going to be the same around here without you.
So the weather's going to be fantastic, and we'll have that covered, and Tracy's going to look at the traffic and everything, and it's going to be awesome, and we just have Dan Casuto and Chris Ingalls to assign.
No Gary Chittim?
Nope.
Where's Gary?
Gary's on vacation, like most of the staff.
Isn't that Gary right there?
That is Gary.
Goodbye, Gary. We're gonna miss you.
Hey, Gary.
I suppose this is not the first time someone has said that you've seen the light. You've worked in the dark tunnels of broadcast journalism for decades, and that light you saw at the end was one of hope, was one of salvation, and it was LED. Seriously, I wish you all the best in the world. We're going to miss your environmental stories here. They were always so very fascinating, and our broadcast is going to be the less without them. But I know you've got to go into a great job. It's going to give you time at home in the evening. All the congratulations in the world, and let's still have that beer on the weekend.
I'm okay.
Gary, I just cannot thank you enough for everything that you have meant to this organization. You are just such a consummate professional in terms of your knowledge of everything to do with the environment, your ability to report stories. You're a great writer, a great presenter, and you also have this interesting little streak where you like to chase a good crime story, run after the bad guys down the street, talk to the cops, and be Action Jackson on the street. We wish you the best. We know that there's great things that are going to happen for you still in your career, and just want you to know there's always a seat for you here at the King table.